What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. This is your Halloween Havoc review for October the 27th, 2024. We got a lot of stuff to go through. A very good show overall. I thought we seen the arrival of Delta again. Zaria. She made her presence known and felt not once but twice on the show, and basically did exactly what I said they were going to do, and we'll talk about that. And for some other reason, having 4 different segments with Ridge Holland on the show, whatever. Cora Jade actually brought her working boots on tonight, having a phenomenal tag match with teaming with Roxanne and Perez to take on Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. Giulia bringing out her glorious bomb, a glorious driver, which was not seeing that coming. Stephanie Vaquer doing a phenomenal finish to her match. Oba Femi takes another pinfall loss. We'll talk about that. Trick Williams retains the NXT Championship in a fine, decent little main event there. And I believe, and the ambulance match, which we'll talk about, the unique ambulance that they use there. So we're going to talk about that, much more. Please hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe, youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. You can follow social medias, Pile Driver Pulse, Twitter, which is on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Pandora, and Amazon Music for the other audio outlets, but you can listen to this show on the road or whatever there. We have, obviously, SmackDown reviews up, talking about the the Motor City Machine Guns winning the tag team titles. NXT reviews up, Raw review is up. We had some unfortunate news, though, regarding TNA. I want to get this out of the way. Vikingo and Chris Bay seem to have unfortunately suffered legitimate injuries at the TNA tapings tonight. So, wishing nothing but the best for them. Hopefully they recover soon. Vikingo, but he's got the injury bug, man. Can't really do anything about that. I did watch TNA Bound for Glory. I will talk about Bound for Glory this week on the Pile Driver Pulse. Including that incredible match between Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich. I'll talk about where I think Jordan Grace is going to go after that on that as well. And my displeasure for TNA deciding going back to terrible booking. Not only on Bound for Glory, but during the TV tapings. We'll talk about that on... I'm going to try to book a Pile Driver Pulse show on Wednesday. Following AEW Dynamite. I'll let you guys know. But we had Halloween Havoc from Hershey, Pennsylvania. We'll talk about what happened during the show where we have our match for the Women's North American Championship. We opened with a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Tony D'Angelo defending his newly won NXT North American Championship against Oba Femi in a rematch from the show in St. Louis. This right out of the gate, Tony D'Angelo goes for a spear after the bell rings. They start going on it, spear, and only gets a half of a 2 count there. They start going all the ring at one point, crashing through barricade there. Femi hits Tony D'Angelo with a chair, then hits him in the midsection with it repeatedly. He traps D'Angelo in the corner using a ladder. Wears him down, sets the ladder up in the corner, sends him crashing on top of it. Oba Femi grabs a table from underneath the ring, sets it up at into the corner there. That's where exactly he's at the ladder later, beforehand, sending D'Angelo crashing through it. Oba Femi uses a crowbar to wear down D'Angelo with a crossface. D'Angelo fights back, or fights his way out of it. Oba Femi, Oba Femi clocks him from behind, but D'Angelo responds back with a back body drop, drops and sends back body drop and sends him crashing on top of a chair, which did not look pretty at all. D'Angelo pulls a table from underneath the ring, sits it up in the corner, sends D'Angelo crashing into the mat. The family then runs out. This is so while this is going on here, Oba Femi brings out zip ties and zip ties Tony D'Angelo's arm to the bottom turnbuckle. The family runs out into the ring here, takes out Luca, takes out Channing. We have Adriana Rizzo in the ring trying to help out D'Angelo. And I really thought that they were going to have Oba Femi take Rizzo and crash her. I first thought they was going to powerbomb her through the table. Didn't happen. Then I thought there's no way they're going to let Oba Femi powerbomb or chokeslam Adriana Rizzo through the ladder on the outside. That would have been, I would have popped for it, but that didn't happen. Tony D was able to get free from the zip tied, hits a spear through like a suicide dive spear onto Oba Femi to the outside, through the table, through the ladder. Since it gets back in the ring, the family ends up attacking Oba Femi. Then I think power bombs. It was a unique version of the Shatter Machine by Stax and Luca with a chair, which was a unique way to do that, I thought. So then D'Angelo sends Oba Femi crashing through a table with a spine buster to win the match and retain the NXT North American Championship. The finish I thought was a little iffy there. I was like, I don't know how I feel about them pinning Oba Femi for the second time here. Unless he's going to the main roster or unless he's going up to the NXT Championship. Which seems like that's going to be the plan, hopefully. What was the point, you know? But Tony D'Angelo is still your NXT North American Champion. I thought the match was really, really good. Hot opener for NXT Halloween Havoc. Then we've seen Lexis King. This was a very interesting segment here. Lexis King is chatting with Sarah Scriber. Did they bring her back? Or did she never leave? Who's the girl who's the girl with Vic Joseph? Vic Joseph. Okay, so that's Mackenzie Mitchell. I was thinking of a different person. Anyways, so Sarah Scriber is with Lexis King here. This was a very interesting segment. So Lexis King is frustrated with being able to find a corner man for his NXT Heritage Cup match with Charlie Dempsey on Tuesday. William Regal walks into the frame and says he volunteers to be in Lexis King's corner. And I thought that was very interesting. I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm intrigued because I wouldn't be surprised if William Regal turns on Lexis King and we get Regal heel for the first time in NXT. So very interesting to see what they're going to go with. That guy has my ears perked up on Tuesday. We'll see what happens there. And I'll be here for it on Tuesday night. Stephanie Vaquer and Giulia took on the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. This was actually a really, really good match here. Very good match. My match of the night, obviously. Cora Jade and Vaquer start to begin here. Bell rings. The two lock up. They go back and forth here. Roxanne Perez then tags in, locks up. This would be the first time in both their careers that they're going to lock up with each other here. They go back and forth, taking turns, pinning one another. Vaquer Sends Roxanne's head bouncing repeatedly off the ring mat. Giulia tags him. Giulia delivers a drop toe hold on Roxanne that sends her crashing into the ropes. Vaquer dials up for the 609 on Perez. Giulia follows it up with a kick of her own. Perez lands on the shoulder lands on a shoulder onto Giulia's midsection. Giulia responds with a missile drop kick off the top rope, one of her beautiful drop kicks that she's known for. Goes for the pin. Roxanne kicks out. Then rains out some rights and left hands onto Giulia with Jade, while Cora Jade has the referee distracted. At this point here, we see Booker T being very biased towards the referee here, biased towards Roxanne here, which I think is pretty funny here. Cora Jade tags back in, starts wearing down on Giulia with a submission hold, tags Roxanne back in. Giulia intercepts Roxanne as she charges at her in the corner, dumps Jade out of the ring, then exchanges right hands with Roxanne. Tags out to Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer delivers. Very tired. A long day. Delivers a crossbody to Perez off the top rope. And then whips an interfering Cora Jade into the corner. Fires off some headbutts to Cora Jade from Vaquer. Giulia starts doing the same thing to Vaquer does the Roxanne. Giulia then comes in and does some headbutts to Cora Jade. Cora Jade and Roxanne catch Giulia and Vaquer with double super kick. Roxanne connects with a tope suicida on both of them onto the outside. Cora Jade follows it up with a coffin drop off the top rope. Not off the top rope, the middle rope, excuse me. Perez gets Vaquer back into the ring, sends her crashing into the mat, then locks in a crossface onto Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer counters that into a pinfall to escape. Roxanne Perez responds with an enziguri onto Vaquer. Sits her on top rope, goes for the Hurricane Rana, hits beautifully. Cora tags back in to deliver a swanton bomb off the top rope to Vaquer. Goes for the pin. Giulia breaks up the fall. Giulia sends Roxanne then crashing into the mat with this popped me massively. Going for the spinning glorious driver. Was not expecting a glorious driver to come out of Giulia. I didn't know if she was going to be allowed to hit it, but she hit it. Jade takes down takes Giulia down, fires her off with some right hands to Vaquer. Sends Vaquer sends Jade crashing into the mat with a back body drop. Then tags in Giulia. Giulia looks to send Jade crashing into the mat with a glorious driver, but Jade escapes, levels. Then, so I believe at this point here, Jade gets rocked, and I mean whacked. This was not a worked knee shot, by the way. Giulia comes running at Cora, nails her in the fucking jaw with the G trigger, and she is out, right? So Giulia had to, I guess, stop her from I guess, she didn't even get to kick out here. So, just, good Lord. Roxanne attacks her. Jay gets Giulia up for a electric chair position as Roxanne looks like they're getting ready to go for Doomsday Device. Giulia sends Jade crashing into Perez, then tags in Vaquer. Giulia sends Perez crashing down with a suplex, double arm suplex. a tiger suplex rather, on the top rope. And then Vaquer hits a beautiful Phoenix, sort of corkscrew Phoenix splash off the top rope for the win, and Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer get the win. This match was unbelievably great. My favorite match of the night. But we weren't done here. As Giulia and Vaquer is celebrating, Sahara appears, stares down all four of them women, and it's not the last time we saw Sahara on the show. So, yeah. Next up, we had Rich Holland, Andre Chase ambulance match. So actually beforehand, I think, well, let's see if we can find out. So there's some other backstage segments here. So we found out that one of the first matches announced for the Philadelphia show at the 2300 Arena for NXT is going to be Jakara Jackson and oh my God, and Lola Vice in a hardcore match with ECW alumni Dawn Marie making a return to WWE as the special referee. So that's one of the only match really announced right now for the Philadelphia show. So that was pretty cool. And then we found out that on NXT, instead of it being a one-on-one match, it's going to be Fraxium defending the NXT tag team titles against Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. So that should be a lot of fun there. Rich Holland defeated Andre Chase in an ambulance match. This is actually a lot of fun here. We've seen a little bit of, this wasn't the first time we saw Andre Chase on the show. He was in the pre-show getting in the face of Bully Ray, who was in attendance. So was De La Greca. But still, fuck those guys over there. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this match here, but I'm going to go halfway here. So Rich Holland sits Andre Chase on a chair, slaps him. Of course he does. Chase then connects with a drop toe hold. By the way, the unique, not stipulation, but the set. By the way, the set was great. By the way, the setup that they had here, no big pumpkin like in '98 Halloween Havoc, but still great setup. When the show started, I seen a white hearse painted to look like an ambulance, and I said, because I was on a live watch along with Blitzball Champ. Shout out to him for allowing me on his live stream. I said they're going to use that's going to be the hearse. They're going to use the hearse for the ambulance match. It's exactly what they did. And I kind of joked and said, well, what if the Undertaker pops out this quote unquote ambulance? Because it's a hearse, get it? But no, that's not what happened there. So the pair took a button. They're going to give it look like they were doing a lightsaber duel with kendo sticks. Ooh, again, sorry for the yawning there. But Chase clocks Holland in the midsection with one of them. Russian leg sweep, shades of the Sandman, who we might or might not see at the Philadelphia show. We'll see. Chase delivers the Chase U stomp to Rich Holland, sends the top, lays across body. Chase grabs a chair in the ring, grabs the chair in the ring, clocks Holland in the spine with it, and slams him onto the floor. And all that stuff going on here. They go near to where the announce table is, and Rich Holland gets blasted with a DDT onto the announce table. The announce table didn't implode, but he brings over the stretcher over to him, puts Rich Holland on it. He looks to load him up into the ambulance. That obviously did not happen. But Rich Holland then loads Andre Chase up to the off the stretcher. That all that stuff didn't happen. But eventually, cradle DDT onto the stage. then then runs the door into his face, then does a oh my god, what is that damn thing called? I forgot what the name of that movie is called. I don't know why, but clocks him here. Gets Andre Chase, then is put into the ambulance and Ridge Holland closes the door shut. This is probably the best Ridge Holland match I've seen. But Ridge Holland gets the win here. Might be my third favorite match on the show. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Still iffy on that here. So yeah. So before the show, in the pre-show, we found out, because on NXT, JC Jane spin the wheel to make the deal and ended up being Spinner's Choice. So we found out that it was actually Fallon Henley that was getting the title match, technically, but it ended up being a gauntlet match. So she had to beat Jasmine Nix and JC Jane first in order to see if she can get past Fallon Henley. So she easily dispatched of Jasmine Nix, 450 splash after a while here. The JC Jane match lasted a little bit longer. Jane comes down here. Obviously, by the way, I love the tribute to Poison. There was a lot of Roxanne and Cora did a little homage to the Omen twin girl, evil girls, and here Kelani Jordan did the Poison Ivy thing. I didn't know about it until somebody pointed it out in the chat with a Blitzball. So you know. And then the second part of this match lasted a little bit longer here, but JC Jane wears down Jordan with a submission, charges at her in the corner. Jordan catches her with a back elbow, connects with two more, then follows that up with an arm drag. JC Jane pins Jordan. Jordan was able to kick out. JC catches Jordan with a neck breaker, but Jordan rolls up JC Jane for the win to eliminate her. Then we got Fallon Henley come out here. So near the end of the match here, so Henley and Jordan level each other with a clothesline and stare at each other. Then exchange right hands. Jordan levels Henley with a handspring back elbow, fires it off. Then fires her off with some stomps. Looks to fly off the top rope. Catches her Henley catches her with a bulldog midair. Then sends her crashing out to the mat. Into the mat. We also have pinned. Jordan kicks out. Henley. This is where the ending of this match happened here. Henley gets Jordan on their shoulders. Jordan was out, lands a face buster onto Henley. She lands a splendid, a split-legged moonsault onto Henley. But Jasmine Nix comes back out to the ringside to distract the referee. Jordan clocks her, pins Henley. Henley kicks out. Jordan ascends at the top rope. JC Jane appears. JC Jane gets taken out here. She goes for another 450 splash. Henley gets her knees up. Henley then hits the Shining Wizard and pins Kelani Jordan to get the NXT North American Women's Championship. I said on my NXT review when I did my predictions for the show, I said that Kelani Jordan was not going to walk out of Halloween Havoc as the champion. I ended up being correct on that. Unfortunately, I had JC Jane being the challenger there, but I still got the point there. And then I get the point again because after the match, Fatal Flu Influence sends a message to the entire women's division. Zaria then does her thing again, and she started to beat the hell out of them all. Finally hitting an F5 on the champion, Fallon Henley. So, Fallon Henley is not going to be lasting long as the NXT North American champion for the women. Because, like I said, if they're gonna present Delta as a babyface, she's gonna need a heel to take the title off of, and that is Fallon Henley. So there is that. So yeah, it was an alright match. Probably the weakest match on the show for me, but I still got my points for what happened there. Vic Joseph and Booker T run down the rules for Devil's Playground, and I said before the show, when they panned to the stage and saw the crate there, and I jokingly said, it'd be funny if Tatum Paxley is still in that crate there. Funny enough, while they're going through the rules of this match here, Tatum Paxley emerges from the box, scaring the absolutely shit out of Booker T, which was the funniest thing. Tatum Paxley said she wants a match with Wendy Choo. Ava makes the match, but Tatum Paxley spins the wheel and makes it a casket match. So on Tuesday, it's going to be Tatum Paxley and Wendy Choo in a casket match. So I thought that was pretty cool here. Main event. Trick Williams defends and retained the NXT Championship against Ethan Page in a playground match here. Match was nothing to write home about, in my opinion. I was all right. I did think it was funny hearing the crowd chant "Whoop that pumpkin," which I thought was funny. Trick Williams had the Willy Wonka inspired gear. Trick Willy, get it? Trick Willy Wonka, and Ethan Page just had a pumpkin gear on, which was fucking funny as hell. Actually, I'll bring the Bully Ray stuff in a second here. So I'm just gonna cut to the end of the match here. So at one point, Ethan Page grabs a bag from underneath the ring, dumps it out. It ends up being nuts and bolts. I hate when they tease me like that. They did it at Bad Blood with the beads, and I thought it was gonna be the thumbtacks. I'm never gonna believe that there's thumbtacks in the bag ever again when it comes to WWE. But Trick Williams, since the Page crashing onto the nuts and bolts there, goes for the pin here. Page kicks out. Page then picks up one of the ring's steps, looks at the clock, but Williams looks the clock come out from behind a double axe handle off the ring apron or off the ring steps. Clears the announce table, hits an Eagle's Edge onto Williams through the announce table. Page climbs back into the ring. As soon as Williams crashing through after he does that here, goes for a pin, kicks out, does Ethan Page or Williams. So he gets him back in the ring here. Williams is about to hit Ethan Page with the steps. Page low blows him. Then he's about to hit Williams with the set. He gets low blowed. The trick knee for the win and the retain the NXT Women's Championship here. NXT Champion Trick Williams. After the match, this is where I needed to go into where I was talking about a second ago. Rich Holland blindsides Trick Williams with beat down here. Ethan Page seemed to be irate there. Then tosses Trick Williams to Rich Holland. Rich Holland lands a DDT on him, but then Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, appears in the ring, fights off both Page and Holland. He dumps him onto the outside, and then he finds himself involved in the stare down with Page, Holland, and Williams as they go off the show, so off the air. So earlier in the night, we had Rich Holland interrupt the pre-show, and then after his match with Andrew Chase, he interrupted him again, and Bully Ray's like, "Well, that's the second time you've done this here tonight." So so I wouldn't be shocked if they do Rich Holland versus Bubba Ray in Philadelphia at the ECW arena or something like that. But yeah. So yeah, other than that, I thought NXT was a really good show tonight. Match of the night for me was the women's tag team match here. Very surprised that wasn't the co-main event, but can't get everything you want. Oba Femi and Tony D'Angelo was my second favorite match of the night outside the finish. But yeah, Halloween Havoc, that was a great show. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will be back here for Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. We're gonna see what's going on. I don't know if they think we have a I think finals to determine who's going to face the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. It's the New Day versus the War Raiders versus I think it's LWO. And whether that's going to face the Judgment Day at some point, we'll see when that match is going to take place, and then we'll see a follow up on the White Six stuff. So yeah. Until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you again back here for Raw. We're out.